A decade on from your first experience, though, what's it mean to win your first game?
It's unbelievable, Don. I suppose people talk about the crowd and all that. For me, but I have to be selfish and all the rest. I'm disappointed the family's not here. You know what I mean? I'm lucky enough my wife's here, but at the start of every year, I make a promise to my wife and 3 children. If I get to the World Championships, we're all going. That has been the way it has been. You know what I mean? They've come here. They've come here the last 4 years or whatever. Big disappointments. You know what I mean? The biggest thing for me is, that Emer's here, thankfully, but my 2 boys and my daughter's not here to witness it. It's brilliant feeling, and they're going through all the motions. They get all the stick. I can suck a lot of things up, and the kind of things that what happens whenever you get beaten, all, you know what I mean? But they're not prepared for all them situations, you know what I mean? I can get over it and I can dust myself down, go and play an eye game, but from their point of view, they're always stuck where their daddy was beating the world championship, you know what I mean? Going to school in January or whatever, so just that's the disappointing thing here, that they're not here to just bounce off that stage and give the whole lot of them a hug.
Mickey, the William Hill World Darts Championship is broadcast live all around the world. They'll have been watching, everybody have been watching. That is a win for the ages. That's a massive moment in your career, in your life, isn't it?
Well, it was more for them, you know what I mean? As I say, I've put so much effort. I put so much effort in every year, but this year I just thought, look, everybody knows the record here, and the record, you can't change it unless you get back here. You know what I mean? And I'm very proud of myself of continuously getting back here and trying to improve it. Look, it's easy to walk away from the whole thing and say, you were here 4 times, you were here 5 times, you never won a game in the World Championship. That was just not how I perceived my career, Start of the year, and I walked in here the door of the day and thought to myself, I played the Players' Championship at the start of the year. I was the first person to do a 9-darter at the start of the year in the PDC. I got a publicity for half an hour, I think. But, so why end the year on a defeat? You know what I mean? Why end the year in defeat? Why not go for it? You know what I mean? And give family and all what they deserve, And thankfully, that's what's happened today.
Not over yet, Mickey.
No, it's not over. No, definitely.
If you won that, and you could win it, you've been in before.
No, it's not. The whole thing's about winning the first. Look, Don, the draws have opened up big time. Oh man, the last 2 years I've been sitting thinking, possibly you can't think way ahead of yourself, but you can. How things progress or whatever. Yeah, but it's massive opportunities. That if I had won my first game, I personally, not taken away against any of the players in the draw or whatever, but in how I had played against them players before in the tour and all, had have been odds on. But the problem is, I didn't win the first game, so that's out the window. So there's no point. I was never ever. I know Ricky's there, and I know who's there, and who's the next one, and all that crack. But that's not worth salt unless you win your first game, and that was a massive thing today, which I also wanted. I was focusing so much on just winning the first game, and thankfully, I feel more comfortable now. And look, I'm on a winning streak. I've been on a losing streak, and I'm on a winning streak.
Congratulations, Mickey.
Thanks, Tom.
Mickey, just touching on what you said there to Dan about the record, when you drive up here for today, do you think, oh no, here we go again? And does it go on your mind, that record leading into the game?
I don't know where the record was probably, yeah, there's no point in saying any different, but I think it was more to do with the performances more than the record, you know what I mean? It just hadn't performed, you know. 2018 was massive, like, you know. It was a big, I would say, that defeat, geez, probably, and everything that went on after it, that I know boys on about mental health and all this crack here, but 2018 really was a massive sucker punch, like, you know. As I say, Preston Rid was, I was more expectation coming the first year. The second year played Phil, he went on to win it. Played Kim the next year, went on to play in the Premier League, and played Jim, you know, that was, Jesus, that was a complete nightmare. And then, I say, everything that come on, what happened after that, had an effect on me for a long time. Not just the losing, but everybody knows the situation with the PDC, the DRA, and all that crack. Like, you know, that had a massive effect. And last year I wanted to prove that I could get back. And probably last year I was trying too hard till right or wrong, and I got caught up in all that. Where this year definitely totally different. I can't look at it and what happened or whatever. It's about improvement, you know.
I've seen you play on the home tour recently as well. Has that practice been good for you, playing tour card holders in a competitive environment in the lead up to the World Championship?
Yeah, I have to think, you know, as I say, the home, fair play to the PDC, you know what I mean? It was brilliant, you know. It gave everybody an opportunity that put their hand up and said they want to. It's very hard to practice and prepare without games, but the home tour gave you that sort of an edge. You knew you were going to play against the quality, the best players in the world, you know. So, and everybody's preparing the exact same for that one day. So, as I say, it was a big. Even I know I lost out on the finals day by I think legs count back or whatever. The last day, probably my averages wasn't that good, but the thing that I liked about myself was I'd won 5 games on a battle. You know what I mean? It gave me that sort of hardened edge sort of thing. You know what I mean? It was like coming here today. You got to wipe averages out the window. You know, from my perspective, on my record or whatever, it's not about trying to. All right, you don't want to do 100 average. You want to do 105, or you know. You want to win, and that gave me the hard edge of I'd won 5 games, I lost the last game to John Henderson, so I knew the hard edge was there of battling things out, you know what I mean, and as I say, I only lost 1 game in the group, and I'd won joint second in another group, so I do think, you know, fair play to the PDC, it was brilliant. I have to say, it's some players don't agree with it or whatever, but in this whole circumstances, if I wasn't playing PDC darts, I would be searching around home playing tournament darts and trying to go to a tournament week in, week out or whatever, to give you that sort of an edge, which now is not there, you know. But definitely have to think the home tour gives every player that opportunity and gives and something to practice for, which is brilliant, you know.
Congratulations, thank you very much, mate.
All right, thank you.
Mickey, do you think today's win somewhat eradicates the memories of the previous few years?
I don't know where it eradicates. It was more proven to myself. It's not, you know, as I say, I don't need to prove anything till anybody. It's just about belief in myself. I say I got off to a bad start against Preston, and I'd Phil and I'd Kim, and as I said, 2018 killed me. I have to say, I was in the, for me, after winning the Players' Championship, I think I beat Gary Anderson in the Players' Championship. All the cards was in my favour coming to here, and it didn't happen. And the consequences of that after was, Jesus, as I say, 6 months, probably 8 months or whatever. And that's the big thing about my family lived with that there, you know what I mean? The fans with that didn't live with that whole situation. I had to put up with it. As I say, that's why I'm so pleased with myself. I sucked it up. I kind see easy to throw in the towel and say, why bother? Why any more? We've done this 5 times, but every January I write out a scenario of goals or whatever, and thankfully this year they're all majority of them that's possible to be ticked. I've ticked them, so I have.
Thank you very much, and best of luck against Ricky.
Thank you.
From you.